Hey everyone, I'm Cameron with SpeedCubeShop.com, and today I will be walking you through the all-new DaYan NeZha, I think, 5x5. We'll take a look. Right off the bat, looking at this new 5x5, I am excited because DaYan is a brand that has been around since the very early days of speed cubing, and a lot of you guys might not even realize how paramount DaYan was back in early 2000s. I mean, the Zan was a 3x3 that dominated the market for a very long time. Lots of records were set with that cube. It just seems like that recently DaYan sort of has had some releases like the Tengyun V2 that were good and the DaYan 2x2 that were good, but the Guhong version 3 and 4 didn't really leave too much of an impact. The Zanshi Pro was a little bit iffy, and it just kind of seems like that DaYan's releases went from being smash hits every single time to being a little bit lackluster and a little bit more hit or miss. So I'm really curious to take a look at this 5x5 today. But before we do that, I will take you through a quick overview. So looking at the 5x5, it's actually refreshing to see there's no weird special customization with this 5x5. We go back to the basics with just a screw and a spring, which is really nice because DaYan's customization systems are not my favorite. The cube weighs 114 grams, which is a bit lighter than comparable models. It has very bright stickerless shades. It is currently $37.95 at SpeedCubeShop.com, which is a little steep, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And it is going to be available at the time of this video being released, so you can go ahead and pick one up at the link in the description down below if you so choose. Taking a look at the accessories, DaYan does a really nice job with their cube bags. I personally am a huge fan of the simple gray with the contrasting blue. You get a little blue screwdriver, which you can use to obviously adjust the puzzle. And then you get what I believe are harder springs along with it in case you want to swap those out, but I don't really know that many people that actually use these. Oh, and I almost forgot, the most notable accessory of them all is this obnoxious hard shell case, which I don't even know what's going on with this thing. Honestly, it has this weird hole at the top and the bottom, and it doesn't actually like seal together. So it's just, it feels like something that would hold a candle. So not a huge fan of this. One thing that the DaYan 5x5 does do really well is effortless turning feel. And it's not very exhausting because it's such a lightweight 5x5. I can sit here and turn it. I mean, I was doing quite a bit of solves on it and I don't really feel fatigued, whereas some 5x5s like the MP by Qi that have a bit stronger magnets can get a little bit tiresome after solve. So very easy to use 5x5. I will say though that the corner cutting, while it is really good, it's kind of hit or miss for reasons like that. So the fact that it's so loose, kind of like the Tengyun version 2, not really a huge fan of that. Obviously, you can adjust the cube to make it tighter if you would like, but for my initial reviews, I don't really mess with the cube at all. I just use it how it comes out of the box. Logic being that's how DaYan thought the cube was best set up. The magnet strength is pretty moderate. It does get a bit lighter the farther out you go, so inners being a little bit more tactile, outers being a little bit less noticeable, but not by much. Overall, I do like the turning feel. It's pretty quiet. It's just kind of hard to turn at speed without the cube being at least lubricated or tensioned. I just feel like stuff like that happens way too frequently. Kind of actually made a 6x6 here, which is a little funny. I was going to say that to be fair, when I'm just sort of free scrambling, I'm turning a lot faster and more sloppy than I would as if I were actually speed solving. So it's not really the most fair representation of the turning. So some people say that I'm a little bit too generous with my reviews and I never say anything bad about the cube. So I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say this thing absolutely sucks, do not buy one. Not quite. I do have a few things to say that initially, I wanted to be a bit more critical of the DaYan 5x5 just because for the price tag being what it is and with how I'm feeling with the performance, it just seems a bit steep and like something that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense unless you're purely going for nostalgia or you're looking to support DaYan as a cubing manufacturer, which is a legitimate reason to buy this puzzle. I did find some weird pops with the center caps where like as the layers would misalign, the actual layer, I don't even know how to replicate it, but the actual layer would cause these center caps to actually pop out of place, which was a little bit weird. And just in general, it has kind of a sloppy turning feel as it is out of the box. I'm not too confident that tensioning this will do too much to take that away, because based on like the DaYan version 2s and other DaYan cubes, when they come loose like this, you can tighten them down only so much before you're stripping the core, and it still just feels inherently loose. So is it a horrible 5x5? By no means, no. Is it worth the price? I'm gonna probably say no. And it's harder for me to say that because I do want DaYan to succeed and make more puzzles again, but this just seems like something that has a very specific user in mind. And I am personally not that user. It's gonna go onto my commemorative shelf and I will smile every time I walk past it and maybe sell it from time to time, but that's gonna be about the extent of it. So if that did not deter you and you wanna pick up your own DaYan 5x5, I will have some available at SpeedCubeShop.com, link in the description right down below. Be sure to check that out. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. If you have any questions on the DaYan 5x5 or anything else, you can reach me in the comment section down below. And thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.